What if the whispers of an abandoned mansion were more than just stories? Ethan, Rachel, Maya, and John dared to enter the house no one spoke of, seeking the truth behind the chilling rumors. But what they uncovered wasn't just a haunted house, it was a curse that reaches beyond death itself. As they uncover secrets hidden in the dark, they must face a terrifying truth. Some spirits never rest, and some places never let you leave. Will they escape the mansion alive, or will they become part of its eternal horror? Tune in to find out what happens next. The wind howled as Ethan, Rachel, Maya, and John arrived at the old mansion. The locals whispered of hauntings, ghosts, and a curse that held the house captive for years. Despite the warnings, curiosity drew them in. Once inside, the door slammed shut behind them. The air was cold, thick with dust and decay. "Let's split up," Rachel suggested. "We'll cover more ground. Stay in touch on the walkie-talkies." John grinned. "It's just an old house." But even as he spoke, a cold chill ran through him. Maya wandered down a narrow hallway, coming across a family portrait. The young girl in the center had hollow, unblinking eyes that seemed to follow her. Maya shivered and continued down the hall, uneasy. Meanwhile, Ethan found a journal in the study. The pages were brittle, the ink fading, but one entry stood out. "The curse is real. Beware the last breath of the living. It will awaken the spirits who roam the halls. They hunger for souls." Before he could read more, a loud crash echoed from upstairs. "Rachel, Maya, John," he shouted into the walkie-talkie, but only static answered. Upstairs, Rachel found a locked door at the end of the hall. The faintest whisper escaped from beyond. "Leave, leave now." Despite the warning, she reached for the door, and it opened on its own. The room inside was freezing. A rocking chair swayed in the center, and a trail of blood led to a small child's toy. The mirror on the wall caught Rachel's attention. She looked into it and saw not her own reflection, but the young girl from the portrait, standing behind her. "Get out," the girl whispered. Rachel stumbled back, and the door slammed shut. Panicked, she grabbed the walkie-talkie. "We need to go, now," she gasped. But there was no response, only crackling static. Ethan rushed to the landing, his heart racing. The house seemed darker, the shadows growing. Another crash came from the attic, followed by Maya's scream. He and Rachel rushed to the attic, finding Maya pale and trembling. "It's here," she whispered. "The girl, she's not just a ghost. She's alive, and she's coming for us." Suddenly, the temperature dropped. Ethan's breath became visible, and the shadows seemed to stretch. A low growl echoed, and from the darkness emerged a towering figure, an unnaturally tall version of the girl. Her black eyes locked on them. Before she could strike, John appeared, holding an ancient amulet. "Stay back," he shouted. The figure stopped, confusion flickering in her eyes. The room trembled as the amulet glowed. The girl screamed, her body contorting in agony as she dissolved into a cloud of black smoke. But it wasn't over. The smoke filled the room, and more spirits began to emerge, their hollow eyes staring at the group. "It's not just her," Maya whispered. "The house, it wants us all." The amulet's glow brightened, pushing the spirits back, but they continued to whisper. "We are eternal," they hissed. "We will never let you go." The house fell silent. The spirits faded, but the friends knew the curse was far from broken. As they rushed toward the front door, it slammed shut behind them. The whispers returned, louder now, as if the house had no intention of letting them leave. In the distance, the faint sound of the rocking chair creaked once more. The end, or is it?